Hello, Beauty News family. Welcome back to another Makeup Breakup Recap.
Yes.
So this is a series where we discuss makeup breakup episodes that we've done in the past couple of months.
Yes. So we go through each of them. We talk about how the video went, what issues we had with it.
Yes.
We won't give out all the answers.
No.
If you did want to know a brief summary of all the answers, well, sorry, watch the videos.
Yeah, there'll be a list of them with links down in the description box.
We're trying to make it easy.
You can check them out if you want to. So the first one, we're going to start with the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner Mini.
Yes. So we didn't want to feature Kat Von D on our videos, but there was the drama that came up that the inkwell in the mini and the large size were the same. And we were like, surely it's just the same component with different amount of ink. But it was actually good timing because we were filming that day and we had to go to the city for a sort of YouTube information session thing. And so we were like, we'll just pick one up and we'll compare it to the full size.
And how lucky were we? Because it was the last one that they had.
It was the last one. The lady had to go find it for us. She came up with one. We're like, oh, you're a gem. And that video went up pretty fast. Yeah. And it answered the question that, no, it's not the same.
No,
it's
the
just
components are the same.
Yeah. So that was fairly well received.
It was.
That one.
Next up was the Pat McGrath palette.
We went bougie.
We did. We finally went bougie. We did it. So we destroyed Wade and repressed it.
They work fine.
They work fine.
I think the best thing that so far that I've come across, like, okay, it looks a bit messy.
It does.
But I think these repress better than most eyeshadows on the market.
Yeah.
And generally, like, we've come to the terms of, like, we don't even bother repressing half the time anymore because we know it's not going to work well. But these pretty much swatched almost identical to the original one. So I think they're good for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Feels like one is loose.
One popped out. All right. There we go.
Only problem is that they might pop out.
They might pop out. Yeah, we wouldn't recommend destroying a Pat McGrath palette.
No, but if you had it one break, you can repress it and they will perform just as well.
Yes.
Which is rare. It's actually very rare. A lot of people like, oh, should I repress this? No. Never do it unless it's broken and you're repairing something because 99% of the time you're going to ruin the formula.
Yeah.
Whereas in this instance, it was
fine.
Good.
Yeah.
It was good.
We did how many pumps in the Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Foundation?
Yes.
So this was Hourglass's new addition to their range, their foundation range. And
I love this foundation.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's so good.
Basically, we wanted to see how many pumps because they claim, you can use half a pump to do a full face. And if you were to use half a pump, you get a lot of applications. That's what we concluded.
Yeah, I use a full pump. But you still get a decent
coverage
amount
with it.
Well, you get really good coverage with it. But yeah, one pump, you still get like a decent amount of applications. And I really love this foundation. It's not cheap, but I think if you've got oily skin, it's a nice one. I've heard people that have drier skin not say the best things about it, but holy Jesus, it's a good one for oily skin.
Can't be good for everyone.
No. Can't win them all. All right, we did our first real versus fake. So this was with the Norvina palette, and we just swatched the real one versus the fake one, see how they compare. There was no comparison.
No. They're not even close.
No, and then we hit it with a hammer. And I tried to open this before. It's crumbling stuff everywhere, it's not going to happen.
We're not doing that. The amount of times we've stained clothing while filming these videos.
And carpet.
Yeah.
No.
Try not to buy fakes if you can avoid it.
Yes, that's a good moral to the story.
Yes. Then we did the lit glitter camos. So these were new to market at the time. They're Lit's newest addition to their range, and it's a glitter gel.
Yeah.
We played around with these. We did some mixing. Oh, it smells like, I can smell them from here. They smell like shampoo.
That's true.
Good shampoo. But essentially it's just a glitter gel. One of them was underweight, and the owner, we let her know, and she was like, well, I'm going to talk to my factory and make sure that that's not happening, because she didn't want that to be a factor.
I think the reception to this one was a bit funny. Some people thought it was sponsored.
Yeah.
It's not.
We've never had a sponsored makeup breakup episode.
We've only ever had one sponsored video, and that was Beauty News the other week.
Yeah.
But I think what people were confused by is that on camera these didn't look as great as they are in person.
Yeah.
And
happens really often
happens
with glitter
so often
stuff.
with glitter. So this is not a product for everyone. We even said in that video that this is not a product for us.
No.
We're old. We hang around at our house watching Game of Thrones.
Why are we going to put glitter?
We don't need to put glitter on
bodies?
ourselves. But as a glitter gel product, it's very pretty.
Yeah.
Do you want to buy it? It's up to you. But I think what didn't translate well on camera was that this has different size particles of glitter. The base isn't iridescent.
Yes.
This one's color shifting. This is
it's called Commander in Glitter.
Yeah.
And it's like a
blue to
aqua
purple,
purple,
iridescent,
silver. It's really pretty, and you can't see it until you're seeing it in person.
And then it's got small, fine bits of holographic glitter, and then medium size, and then larger size. Yeah. So it's quite multi-dimensional in person. It's really hard to capture that on camera. So no, we weren't selling out and being douchebags.
No.
We were just expressing that these are pretty in real life.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't translate well on camera.
No.
It is what it is. All right, the next one was the IT Cosmetics Brow Power. So these are brow pencils, and this was really interesting because from our Kat Von D video, we had an email from someone that said Kat Von D turned out being that, it was correct, and the minis did have less product than the full size, but check out the IT Cosmetics Brow Power because it looks like the mini had the same amount of product as the large size, and the only difference is the size of the pencil. So we went in, we bought a mini. You already had unopened full size, and when you twisted it out, it did look like it had the same amount of product in it. And when we weighed it, it was like a fraction of a gram difference. So people learned. Look, people were a little bit upset, and I totally understand that if they're buying the full size, which is double the price, essentially, I think, or close to, why would you spend double the price when you're getting the same amount as the mini? And I understand why that upset people, but then people that bought the mini were really happy that they were getting much better value than the full size.
We also had a few people leave comments who were completely on the other side of the fence, and they were saying that due to their own physical disabilities, holding the minis was so difficult for them. So they actually loved that they could get it in a full size. Yeah. And they didn't mind paying extra because they liked the product.
Yeah, I think what it comes down to is that it does contain what it says it contains. Yeah. It's just that if you are more about value for money, the mini you get same amount of product for half the price. So I think that was the take-home message.
Yeah.
If you prefer the pencil, which is fair, I prefer a bigger pencil as well.
Yeah.
But I would buy this.
Yeah, the value
is better. So it's a bit cheeky from IT Cosmetics. But there you go. All right. Wet n Wild Rebel Rose, the colour adjusting lip balm and
cream
blush. We fucked this up.
We did. We fucked it up. We actually really like colour adjusting products. We love to get lemon juice and dishwashing liquid and play around with them.
This did look like it had a nice consistency though.
Yeah, the jelly form of that. I was like, look, that I would try.
Yeah, that's fair. If it was just a clear.
It would have been cool. The next one was the Becca and Khloe x Malika BFF Glow Letters.
Okay, dog biscuits.
This
is probably my favourite one that we did over the last
so fun.
few months.
Oh, I know. It's messy. I've already
you got it all over you. Yeah, don't open it.
Nah.
So, spoiler, we looked at the dog biscuits. We played around. We swatched them. And then you ran them over with your car.
Yeah, and some people were so offended by that.
Most people loved it though.
Yeah, most people loved it. Some people are like, that's a waste. Well, I think this product is a waste.
Yeah, we're not going to use it. It's not a good product. So I think that is the best way you can actually functionally use that, by running it over with your car.
Yes.
And I really want to do that with more products. It
looked great. It looks so cool.
It was fun. It was fun while we were there, and it was fun to rewatch.
Yes, it was fun to edit.
Yes.
All right, from Stila, we had the shade Mystère Face Gloss. Mm-hmm. So this was a solid gloss type product. We were shocked when we opened this.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be domed, and it looked like it melted.
Yeah, it did. It looked like it had a bad day on a hot Melbourne day.
Yes.
Yeah.
It didn't.
But yeah, basically it was just a solid gloss.
Yeah.
With shimmer in it.
Great. All right, then we had a serum with balls. This was one of the most disappointing products.
Oh, it was so under. It was really under.
It was so under, and the balls didn't pop.
I know. The balls are really strange.
They're like solid moisturizer balls.
Yes.
Next was Icy Betch. This was... okay, so...
There's always one.
Yeah, so this is just the Icy Betch palette, and... What we wanted to do with it was see what was under the sticker, because we had a lot of reports, people saying that it's a different palette under there, and it is. Mm-hmm. Now, there was nothing in that video that was trying to suggest that this is not that it's a bad thing to do this.
We very clearly stated that recycling packaging in this form is fine.
Yeah.
But we also pointed out that Tarte recycles formulas and puts it into different packaging and then calls it a different item, product. Yeah. And that is what we said is not cool.
We also didn't think that the sticker was a good enough covering.
Yeah.
Like you almost... Like they should have printed something over the top of the packaging to make it a little bit more sturdy, because if you had this in your handbag or traveling, it's going to lift, you're going to get crumbs under there, it's going to be gross. But we just wanted to see, because, there were rumours that the reason that this was so different from the original sort of sneak peek concept design was because they were trying to reuse these packaging, and it was the case.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but we got an onslaught of people saying, why is it bad to recycle packaging? It's not bad. It's great.
It's not bad.
But I think the thing is that I don't think Tarte did that to do something good for the environment. I feel like Tarte did that because
they had to get rid of the packaging.
Yeah, they wanted to get rid of packaging. So I don't think they were doing it to be environmentally conscious. I think they were just trying to people want this shit. Let's just... it's a good excuse to get rid of this fucking pile of packaging that we don't use and it's just sitting there.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was a more economical reason rather than an environmentally friendly reason.
Next up, we had a concealer, followed by another concealer. But the first concealer was the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Magic Star Concealer. Mm-hmm. And we used a syringe to get the product out of this. And we showed that there was what was claimed.
Yeah.
Plus with what we lost, a little bit extra. And I think the frustrating thing about that video was it all went to plan, but we used the syringe method that was actually suggested to us by viewers
time again for years.
But then it just wasn't really good enough.
Also, I wanted to point out, we researched this.
Oh my God.
We tried to get the biggest gauge needle available. Other people were
meant to be. I'm so annoyed about this.
Oh, yeah, we'll get onto that. But yeah, so we really tried to do the best and get the best thing, like the biggest gauge needle, tried to do the right thing by making this hopefully work the best way we possibly could. People started suggesting medical supplies that we don't have access to.
Yeah.
You know, people are like, oh, you've got 500,000 subscribers. You can tell people that you need this and you need that and you need a centrifuge. Centrifuge came up multiple times again.
Every time we do these,
we're not buying a centrifuge.
We're never buying a centrifuge. Never.
And also the funny thing about a centrifuge is most of them you can't just put items like this in and spin them. You need a specific container, which defeats the purpose of you. Because we need to. Imagine, how do we get this out in the first place?
Could you imagine buying a centrifuge? They are not cheap, and then discovering that it's useless to us for the purpose that we need it for anyway.
That was a painful video. But what ended up happening, which was even more painful, is that we tried to order the largest gauge needle that we can buy as a consumer. We're consumers at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So we only have access to things like office supplies and lab supplies that are sold to the general public.
Yes.
But what happened?
Well, it turns out we were trying to get a 14 gauge needle. Turns out it wasn't a 14 gauge needle. It was smaller.
It was marketed incorrectly.
Or
we were sent the wrong item.
Potentially.
So in our head, we're like, this is the largest gauge
this is what we're supposed to have.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
And it wasn't, yeah.
So that was annoying for us. But we got the results in the end.
Yes. I reckon the best way, like, because we've got a bag of those needles now. I think the best I think the best thing to use them with, though, or the best way to use them, and we can do this with concealers, we can do this with liquid lipsticks and whatnot, is actually scrape it out, put it in the tube part and push it down because it makes it a lot easier to read in the graduated cylinder.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
Because previously we'd scoop things out, put it in the graduated cylinder, and then you can't even read the level because it's all on the sides.
Yeah.
So we might
the
use
syringes have a purpose.
Yeah, we might use the syringes in that way, but we're never going to try to suck up product. I like to compare it to trying to eat mashed potatoes with a straw. It just didn't work.
It's not. Yeah,
and even larger ones, like, it will work a bit better, but I still don't think it will work with the texture of that. And then you're sucking up the air around the sides. It was just, these are designed for liquids that sit like,
that settle.
Yeah, these don't settle. These are like loose around the side of jars.
Yeah. Oh wait, there was one other comment that we got so often in that video, and I had to stop reading the comments because I was just like, "This is, you guys, why are you making this suggestion? You're not seeing the forest for the trees here." People were saying that the trick to getting fluids out of a bottle with those syringes is to put the syringe in, push air into it, and then suck it up. And I was like, how are you going to do that with this? You're going to push air into something that has a nice big hole. It's not creating any sort of vacuum or suction effect. You're pushing air into a tube where the air can just come straight out. I couldn't believe it. We actually research these videos a lot.
Yeah, we do, surprisingly. And we often test them. This one we tested it with concealers and liquid lipstick.
Yeah.
We tried the best way possible, and with what we had and with what we have access to and the limitations of the product.
Yeah.
And not having a centrifuge.
Which we're never going to buy.
Because you need to put certain, like, container in there to make it work. You can't put Jeffree Star multifaceted weird concealers.
Here we go. Another one that we got a lot. People were like, why don't you just scrape all the product out, clean it, and then put fluid in it and see how much product fits in there? This also does not work. Because you can empty this out and fill it up with fluid. That doesn't mean that's how much... It can hold
20 mils. That doesn't mean that's how much concealer is in there.
Exactly. This could hold 4 litres of product. That doesn't mean that there's 4 litres of concealer that was put in there.
There's a lot of air and there's a lot of, like, wand space.
Exactly. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah.
And it legitimately was based on suggestions that we've had for years. Yeah. We tried to take those suggestions, tweak them to the best of our ability and try to make it work. We got the result we needed, but it was a headache in the process.
It was.
What wasn't a headache?
Oh my God, this was fun.
One. Now, this is a funny one because we've had one of these in our makeup breakup drawer. Makeup breakup. It's hilarious. We've been literally filming for
hours and hours.
I think it's
talking.
5 hours.
Talking and talking and talking. I can't even tell you what your brain starts to do when you've been talking non-stop for hours.
It feels like my brain is pushing against my skull.
Yeah.
It wants to escape.
It's turning to jelly and like oozing out of our ears. Get those syringes. We'll suck it up. See how much volume
how much brain fluid does Kat have?
Nursing students, eat your heart out.
Anyway, we've had one of these in our drawer for the longest time.
Yeah.
We're like, okay,
over a year.
let's see how much product's in it. Let's click it out. And then we didn't really know what to do with it for a long time.
Yeah.
And we had the Jeffree Star one, and I thought, look, let's just do another concealer one. Let's correct the wrongs of last week and try to make it better. And then we decided, like, we'll compare them. That's a great idea. Go get another one on sale, thank you, Chemist Warehouse, and then see which one is, like, better. Yeah. As in how much product you get with a sponge versus the non-sponge. I was so surprised that people didn't know you can pull the sponge off.
I know! That was the most common, like, I saw so many of those comments. I was like, guys, really? What you bean towels?
Yeah, so many. I think the majority of the comments was like, going off to rip off the sponge now, or I threw that out because I hate the sponge. Now I know you don't have to use a sponge.
Love the juice, hate the sponge. Yeah. Oh my God, life changed. Yeah. So that was great.
I was this age when I found out you can pull off a sponge. Yeah,
you can.
There were a few questions about whether or not you can, like, take the sponge off, clean it, put it back on. You can't. Once it's off, you can't put it back on.
You might have some difficulty doing that. I mean, you could try. I've never done it, though.
That's, to be fair, though, that pulling off the sponge was the cleanest sponge pulling off has ever happened.
Yeah, something you didn't see with that video was, because I muted it, when I pulled it off, I said to Kat, good Lord, that was the cleanest sponge removal I've ever seen.
Yeah, because often you might break it, or
quite often it actually tears. So there's a little, level or
like the lip of the sponge still stuck in. Yeah,
it usually tears off there and stays in the actual.
So it's not usually that clean. No, it's not usually that clean.
If you manage to get your sponge out clean, you could totally try to put it back in if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think it'd be a little bit difficult to do, but we did find out that there wasn't much difference between using the sponge or not using the sponge.
Yeah.
It's
we
just
thought
about,
there would be a little bit of product lost to that sponge.
I agree, but there was a fraction of a gram that was lost in the sponge. So if you do prefer the sponge, go ahead. You're not wasting too much product.
Last one that we're going to talk about. We did a video on how to rehydrate dried out Colourpop eyeshadows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, we don't know how that was received.
No.
Because as we're filming now, it goes up tomorrow.
Yeah.
So hopefully it was received well.
Yes.
It's a pretty long video. We test out 8 types of rehydration liquids.
Yeah.
Fluids. Things.
Stuff.
And we took the suggestions from the group. So we asked people what they've heard, what they've tried, what they want to see tried, and we just tried to mimic that. We did learn that to instantly rehydrate it, Duraline, Inglot Duraline method is the best.
Yeah.
You could also put a few drops and leave it over time. You'll start rehydrating the whole thing. I probably wouldn't recommend that too much. I think it's better to do one drop as you go.
Unless you're like trying to pan it, maybe. Like if you plan on using it super regularly, maybe you would want to put like a couple of drops in, let it sit for a few days and then go ham using it. But if you are just using it, every now and then, I think something to keep in mind is Colourpop Super Shock shadows are not expensive. So unless it's like a limited edition shade, just get a new one.
I agree, because Inglot Duraline, even though it's not a super expensive thing, it's I think like $15 or something, you don't want to use a whole bottle rehydrating a $5 eyeshadow.
No.
So that's where I think, it's best to just use it as you go.
Yeah.
And that was our conclusion about the primer as well. So a silicone primer, if you put a layer over the top and then sort of chip the layer away over a couple of days, it does actually start rehydrating the product, which is great. Not back to its normal state and not as intense as a Duraline would rehydrate it. But once again,
do it.
Yeah.
If you don't have access to Duraline.
Correct. Yeah. But unless you've got a cheap silicone primer that you're happy to waste, once again, it's probably not the most economical way at rehydrating them, but it does work. So those were the best methods that we found, and there are a lot of fails.
There were a lot of fails, but sometimes you've got to go through that to actually, work out what's going to work.
I agree.
So,
Duraline for the win.
For the win, absolutely. So that's it for our Makeup Breakup Recap. I think this is number 10.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm pretty sure it's number 10.
Oh.
Yeah. So, God, we've been doing this for a while, haven't we? It's funny. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Let us know down in the comments what your favourite episode was out of the ones that we mentioned today. And if you want to go rewatch any of them, like I said, links will be down in the description box.
And if you have any suggestions on other makeup, skincare, beauty items to tackle, let us know in the comments. We might tackle them eventually for you.
One day.
Maybe one day.
We'll buy it, put it in the drawer for a year, and then do it.
Yes. That's exactly how we operate.
All right, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Makeup Breakup Recap. We will see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.
Bye.